So grew up in a Christian home. Every chance I got, I was in church, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. I was in Awana clubs, if you know what that is. And we had an Awana talent show every year. The first year we did a ventriloquism act, and that absolutely killed it. And then after that, we did a magic show, and that was my idea. I'd not done magic before. I walked in there not being prepared at all, and we absolutely bombed. I did a card trick and had no idea what I was going to do after that. So I said, I'm never doing magic. I threw the magic book in the back of my bookshelf, never ever wanting to touch it again. But then in middle school, I ended up learning a card trick. Not sure where I got cards from because we didn't have it. We just didn't have a deck of cards. We had Uno cards. But I ended up learning a card trick and then showed people at school and they loved it. I said, man, I should do more of this. Well, high school was really when I started to perform a lot, especially in front of people for an actual crowd. I started doing variety shows, different things throughout school and classes. Anytime I had a presentation, if I could include a magic trick in it, I absolutely did it. Yeah, so different people that around me, I really didn't get to know personally. There are a few people that I have seen online who really they dedicated their whole lives to sharing the gospel, and that's what they do. And they do it through magic. They travel around all over the world, honestly, to spread the gospel. Come to laugh, come to learn, come to live dangerously. It'll be a blast. There's a lot of variety in the BennyG Magic show, and you never know what you're gonna get. I never know what I'm gonna get either at the shows, honestly. So. Let's do this. I get an adrenaline rush and feel it afterwards, but at the moment, it's just, I got a task, and that is to do my magic tricks and make people laugh, and from there, I just go and do. I don't really think a lot. You got to be on your feet oftentimes when you're performing in front of people, but there's not a lot of emotions that go through. I love making people laugh, and then when it's kind of crowd work, you're talking with people, other people say stuff, and that's hilarious. I enjoy laughing with the crowd, and there's always things that you never expect. A show always has something in it that you never know, and you can never foresee coming. So.
I need you to name any vegetable or fruit. First one that comes to your mind right now. Carrot. Crap.
My favorite magic trick is probably bandana banana, as we like to call it in the magic community. One, it's messy. People don't see it coming. It kind of just oh, okay, this is happening now, But it has a great finish. And that is probably one of my favorite magic tricks I perform in my show every time.
Your well-deserved applause.
What? In all of my shows, I hope that people walk away with something more than what they came for. A lot of people come to magic shows because they want entertainment, they want to laugh, they want wonder. But I also want them to walk away thinking, leave them with a challenge. And so with that, I tried to always teach something, whether that's the gospel or I would love to teach apologetics in doing so. But as I kind of started performing in front of more and more people, a lot of people were like, hey, have you ever thought about, sharing the gospel doing that? And I was like, that's something I never really considered. But it's definitely something, I could do. And then my pastor actually asked me, once again, after I was out of Awana, to come back and perform and do a gospel magic trick, explain the gospel using a magic trick. And so I did that. I did it with a newspaper, talked about the good news of Christ, and ripped it up and restored it. And so you can, I've done that. I've also done a rope trick explaining that. So that's kind of how I got started. He just simply asked me to do it, and I said, hey, I could do it. and I do it for the kingdom. I mean, it's not to get recognition. It's something that definitely the Lord has laid on my heart of like, hey, there are a lot of lost people, and we need to evangelize. And so doing that, this is just the gift that God gave me that I can utilize and spread His word using.
All right. And quite like I didn't understand why the Lord let me do magic, but now I do. You guys don't understand why these things are 3 things, but now you will. Can you hold that up? Right here. What? Can you hold that too? It's a direct match. Now, what was that number?
119,403.
And what was that? Kit Kat, ladies and gentlemen. What is that? So to end off the show, if I could encourage you guys to do one thing, is find out what that gift is. Find out what that talent is. All right? Find out those connections. You don't know who doesn't know Christ. All right? So with that, my name is BennyG. Thank you guys so much.